All right, all right, all right. As you can see, we've got Grounded 2 pulled up right here. And why is that? Because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. Not really. We're only going to talk about what we think is coming, right? That's not a little bait and switch. That's just me being honest, right? I played Grounded original, fully yoked when it came out on the PlayStation. So I have all the content on my PlayStation, and I got to thinking, well, it's about to launch here on PC. I want to talk about what's coming. If you've never played Grounded, the premise is very simple. You were shrunk down, and you go through the backyard in the original. You go through the backyard, and you are trying to uncover things, and you are trying to get back to normal, okay? There's a lot going on. If you've never played it, check it out. It's a fun little game, crafting, building, survival. A lot of enemy types, a lot of good stuff going on there. But in this video, I want to talk about what I think is coming based on videos they released, comments they've made, image of the map, the overlay of the map, and we're going to also talk about the little trailer playing in the background right now, what we're seeing in the trailer, right? So we'll start by saying that this is a part 2. Okay, so we know that they're going to go back into this layer, this level of shrunkenness through some sort of event that happens. Now, I have the sound turned off because of copyright issues. There is one particular song playing on it that is a very popular song for my generation back in the 90s, and I don't want any copyright infringement. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what's going on. There's been an explosion in the park, and something has gone wrong. The 4 kids are back, and Burgle's back. And so what we're trying to do is probably find out why, right? What happened? And again, get out of the scenario. The cool thing about this game is the fact that you're like shrunken. So everything is oversized. I enjoyed that so much in the first game. The first game map is in the backyard of a house. There's a lot of biomes that you're going to go into. We'll talk more about the biomes later on. We can see right there, you're going to be able to ride, tame animals, insects. We're going to be able to ride them. I think that's pretty cool. We got us a little frozen biome here. We'll talk more about that. We got a swamp-like biome, so that means probably mosquitoes. Not one of my favorites, as they'd kill me every time. And so there's a lot of different things going on out here, and so much of this is just enjoyable. It's so much enjoyment to talk about, right? So I've let it play on in the background, and we're going to shift gears. We're going to talk about something else here in just a second. We're going to talk about the map, okay? So here it is, early access, July 29th. All right, so July 29th, we've got the early access starting. Steam does not have a price listed for it right now. We know it'll be early access, which means they'll be making changes, modifications, and updates along the way. The first thing I'd like to talk about, the very first thing, is the map itself, right? So the map is different. Obviously, we're not in the backyard anymore. The opening area that they said, the starting area that we'll all start in, is going to be the same size as all of the backyard was in part 1 or the first game. So that means the opening area. Now, we can make some assumptions as to what that area looks like. If you look at the map right there, it could very well just be the statue that's kind of in the middle to the left. It could be the little hut, the little booth, the little building that's in the like center bottom right there. We've got a swamp area that's kind of center top. The ice cream right in the center. All of that could be the starting area, right? Because that's a pretty large area. And then you have, to the top left, you have a garden. Now, I think the garden is probably going to be, in my opinion, one of the better places to go to. I don't know anything about it right now. I'm just making a speculation. That's all I'm doing, okay? So if that's the case, if that's what we're dealing with, right, is that opening area right there, then you have to start to look at what the picture does show us. The top right. The Fog of War. Could this be a DLC? Could it be a later storyline progression? Could it be just something else? Because, when you zoom in on this map and you look at the map, there's a couple things I don't see. I don't see a sandbox. Does that mean we're not going to have that heat biome, right? I don't see the haze. Is there going to be a nauseous gas or toxic gas? I don't see that in there. I do see water. That's good. I enjoyed the water portion of the game. The koi fish, the tadpoles, all of that was pretty interesting and fun. It was kind of cool. I also enjoyed the armor pieces that came out of that. That was pretty neat when you had to go down and get the scales from the koi fish. That was pretty cool as well. So interesting what they'll put inside this pond right here. Let's go back and talk about the garden for a second. The garden over there is interesting to me as well, mainly and primarily because what's it going to be, right? We know there's caterpillars or we know butterflies, maybe caterpillars. I reversed that, scratch that. We know butterflies. Well, to have a butterfly, you got to have a caterpillar. Caterpillar's going to eat things, leaves, and vegetation. Does that mean there could be things growing? Is this going to be like one of those public gardens that you find in metropolises? This is what it looks like to me in a park. So what are we going to find? Tomato plants, carrots, vines. Could it be like green bean vines? Could it, who knows? But it just looks interesting. We got a trash can in that area. We're going to have trash. Now, I see a little bit of a greenhouse or a low-tier planter box greenhouse. What's going to be in there? Could there be toxic fumes in there? Could it be a hot zone? Who knows? Right outside the greenhouse area there to the right and bottom just a little bit, we got the statue. And that's a big statue that we have right there, right? With a big flat top on it. And you know what we love to do? We love to build on flat tops, elevate it up off the ground a little bit so that way no bugs can get to us, and we feel protected. And some people, if you haven't seen the videos, they make massive buildings, complexes, whatever you want to call it. Now, this game in all by itself is great, but we know there's going to be more coming. I hope that we can go into that building. The little purple building there, I hope we can go into it. That's one thing I feel like the game is missing, is that, that old Honey, I Shrunk the Kids moment where you're like running through the yard in 1 second, but then you get into the house, and you're having to dodge some things in the house. Maybe there's a big animal like a dog or a cat. I don't know. Not in that, but I'm talking about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So to me, it's just like there's so much opportunity here, and I see massive game time, right? Lots of ability to play the game, enjoy the game, have fun with the game. And at the end of the day, right, we're talking biomes. Each one of these is going to have a unique biome to it, so it's going to be story progression. Just like in episode 1 or the beginning, the original Grounded, different biomes, you had to have different armor gear, different pieces that you would take with you. I hope that the ant mounds are still back, the ant heals. I loved the ant armor, being able to blend in, go down and steal some of the queen's eggs. That was pretty cool. A lot of things. All right, let's shift gears. We know there's going to be animals that you can ride, tame and ride. We also know of 2 potentially highly dangerous animals. One of them's in the trailer, and that is the praying mantis. We also know of, or they've said that there's going to be a tarantula. Okay, so we haven't seen it, or I haven't seen it. There has been the orb weavers. I've seen that. I've seen the wolf spider, but a tarantula? Come on, man. How big is that thing going to be? Someone who's got a little bit of a fear of spiders, that one's going to be fun for me to play. I'm not kidding. All right, let's talk other types of enemies. We also know with these types of enemies, like the spiders, they're going to be able to put up a defense mechanism. They spin a web. They're going to be able to use that web. So they're going to also have parrying. I love this. I'm wondering if the game is going to be using AI technology on this, right? So many gaming studios are going this route. I would love to see how this is going to work. I've seen the gameplay, and it looks cool, but I want to see it in reality. Unfortunate side for me is I'm going to be on vacation when this game drops, so I'm going to be a couple of days behind. I don't know. I'll try and figure something out. Maybe I don't know. I don't think I can play it on the ROG LIX. I just don't think it'll work. But anyway, my point is, that we're going to the animals, the enemy types, are going to be able to parry us. We're parrying them, they can parry us. We block them, now they can block us. It's kind of cool if you ask me. I love that. I think that technology is really, really dope. I think it's really, really hype. I think it's really, really sick. Now you know I'm not young. Stop talking that way, Tim. We know we got a scorpion, right? Scorpion. That's going to be another one that I think is going to be a little bit toxic, pun intended. And I also think that it's going to be fun and challenging to try and battle, right? Now, we see in the trailer that there is a scorpion in the frost zone, or where the ice cream cart has tipped over. Does that mean that we're going to now get a cold biome? We had a heat biome. We had a toxic biome. We had water. Are we going to get a cold? It's going to be status effects, right? Is there going to be something that we have to prepare for? We got to suit up with some type of armor to be on there. That's going to be interesting to see. I'm really excited about the building techniques that they've brought over from Game 1. Oh, they also said, starting with the game, starting at launch in early access, zip lines are going to be turned off. There will not be any zip lines because they want you to get into taming animals, riding animals. That's the way they want you to progress. I actually think that's a great progression system right there. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. Start out kind of slow. They also said they need to test their servers, make sure everything's going to work properly. I just think that this game is going to be a nice little hit, a little summer bash, if you will, a summer success for them. They've poured a lot of hours, energy, and effort into it. I, for one, am excited about it. I think this is going to be just as equally as fun as the first one. And it's just, to me, it's just, I'm sorry, I'm just in amazement just sitting here watching it right now. So, you know, here we are. We're at the end of the video. We're going to crafting and building. Oh my gosh, I get so distracted, y'all. Look at all the crafting and building that you're going to be able to do. That just, the weapons, the two-handed. Oh my gosh, you're going to be able to wield 2 daggers. Anyways, if you made it to the end, thank you. Hit like, subscribe, all the good fun stuff. And you know what? If you don't like it, it's okay. But Grounded 2 coming out July 29th. Thank y'all, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.